Hello guys, welcome back to this HTML tutorial. In this class, I'll be taking you guys on HTML text area, drop-down list, HTML5 form, elements, attributes. I'll teach you HTML buttons. I'll teach you HTML content editable, block codes, NBSP, subscript text, and HTML superscript text. There's a part 5 of this tutorial. If you've not been following this tutorial, I just recommend that you start following. You get my videos from part 1 to part 4 to give you a grasp of how we are progressing in this HTML tutorial. Okay, so I'm going to begin with HTML text area. And what does a text area does is a multi-line field that helps you to edit plain text. Okay, it is a form and it's also an inline element, and it's written with the text. See, text area, you have the name for identification. If you want to use JavaScript, you see you have the ID also for identification. Then you see something here, you have the column and you have the row. If I reload this and make this bolder, okay, you see it takes this column represents the width of the column, and this one, oh, I think the column now is the height, so that's the height, and the rows represent the width. You see, if I increase this to 20 and I reload, you see it increases. If I increase this to 40, you see that, right? That's what text area does. And in our last slide, I taught you an input attribute named placeholder. You can also add placeholder to this. I just say please, sorry, and just say please insert your text, and then you reload. You see that, and the moment you start typing, it leaves. That's how to add a text area to your website. Okay, the next thing I want to show you is the drop down list. We have the drop down list. I'm going to click this, and you see HTML drop down list is a control that provides a menu of options. Maybe you just want to create a kind of button where people can select different options. HTML drop down is also a form and an inline element. To do HTML drop down, you start with the select. Once you have the select, the next thing, let me expand this here. Okay, the first thing is the select. You have the select name, and after that you have the option value. You see, this select will be the container for this option value. Okay, so I will just duplicate this a couple of times. I'll just say man. I'll take the name to be people. Of man, woman, girl, and then boy. Then I'll take the value to be man, woman, girl, boy. So if I reload this, you see we have a drop down list over here. You have the man, you have the woman, you have the girl, and you have the boy. You see, knowing all this is not enough. You need JavaScript to be able to make it dynamic, add some kind of commands and some kinds of validations. But I just want to be strict in this tutorial. So even at last classes, there were some things in JavaScript that I should teach you, but I don't want to go into JavaScript. So in our JavaScript class, I will teach you how to fetch data, the data from others drop down list, from the input elements, how to add the kind of validation you want, how to set conditions to validate the inputs. Okay, so the next thing I'll teach you is HTML form attributes, input attributes, form element or form element attributes. The thing is, in our last class, I showed you a bit of how this form element attribute works. I showed you the placeholder, I showed you the name, but let me just add an input type. I just add an input type text. Okay. And we have our input type here. In our last class, I'll also show you the required. Well, let me add to it the read only. Okay. Value text. I am a text input. See, I am a text input. I did not also show you the value attribute. A value is used to set a default input to your input tag. You understand? You see, this is an input element. It should be editable, but since I added the attribute read only, you notice it's not at all editable. Okay. Aside from that, we also have disabled. You see, it's disabled. I think I need to zoom it to make it bigger. Okay, see, you notice the difference. Read only, you see that. Okay, so the next thing I will show you is HTML5 buttons. You see, HTML button is they are clickable, and they are clickable element, and you know you can use them in HTML forms or anywhere in a document that needs a standard button functionality. Okay, so to add a button to your HTML document, you use the button tag. You see, use the button tag, and if I reload, you see it's already showing there's a button here. And I'll just say a button. You see that we have a button here. Okay, and the default type for, okay, you can just add type submit. Okay, the default type for a button is submit. Okay, and you can add styles to your button. Okay, let's do a little bit of inline styling. Oh, sorry, just style, not styling. We have style, let's just say background color green, color white, then padding 10 pixel. See that? Let me break this. Okay, see that, right? Then I can just add border none. See, it's looking nice, right? Okay, you see that? Okay, so I just want to, that's a button. Okay, that's a button. And when you use button inside of a form, let's try something now. Let's have a form here. Let's have a form, and bring this button inside of this form. Okay, I have my type to do something. Let's have my input text. Okay, see, once I click this button, because I already added my input to the text, and inside the same form tag I have my button. See, once I click it, it's trying, look at the tab over here, it's trying to validate the form. You see, it's trying to submit the form because the input type is submit. But meanwhile, if I bring the button outside of this form and I place it here and then reload, see, once I click it, it's not trying to submit anything because it's not in between a form. So typically most of the time a button is used for submission. So when we start JavaScript tutorial, I'll teach you how to connect your button to your forms and everything, so you can use them in form validation or for whatsoever you wish to use them for. Okay, another thing, not too necessary for me, but I think I just have to teach you. I have the p tag. For example, the next thing I'll show you is content editable. I am a paragraph. Okay, let's say I reload this. Then inside here I have content editable. Okay, so that I can have my content editable. Then I don't need to have this over here. You see, it's a paragraph tag, but it's giving me the opportunity to edit. You see that? Because I added content editable. But meanwhile, if I remove this content editable and reload, you see, I can't edit this paragraph. Okay, the next thing is HTML block quotes. Let's do something now. If I am a paragraph, and I have my P here. I am another paragraph. No, I should have this here. Then I can have, let me reload. I can just say, I can have my block quote. It's, how do I describe this block quote now? You see, block quotes, they indicate that its element content, it's an extended quotation. Just for indentation. Yeah, I think that's the right word for it. So I will have my block quote. I am indented, oh, what the hell is wrong? I'm an indented block quote. Do you see that? Okay, let me make it, let me copy this and paste here. Yeah, so it can be very clear how it looks. You see that? Can you see? That's what block quotes are used for. The next thing I want to show you is the NBSP tag, the no breaking space. Let's clean all these and then reload. Okay, if I have a H3 and I have a text that says every person in the world deserves to be honored. Okay, I have something like this. Do you notice that if I add more space, not even enter now, you see, and reload, you see it doesn't add more than a space in between here. See, just a space. So to add more space in between words or letters, what I will just do is add the no breaking space, and you see that Then if I reload, see, it adds more space. Then if I want many more space, you can copy, paste, paste, paste. See, it's already added a lot of space. That's what the no breaking space is used for. Then second to the last in this tutorial is HTML subscript text. Okay, you use the subscript text to display use the superscript the subscript text to display something in the downward part of a text or a word. I don't know how to explain that, but let me show you. If I have let me add h6, or let's use the previous text. Okay, I'll just clean the no breaking space. Okay, let's say honored. Then I'll just have subscript. I'll just have I'll just have subscript. Okay, I want to put it inside the h3 tag. Okay, then let me enter. So I am on subscript. And then reload. You see that it's writing beneath. Okay, then the best way to show you is to use, it says the h1 tag, and I have h subscript. I have my h2. Let's say for example hydrogen atom. You see that it brings a text below or to a lower level of a word or a text. Okay, then the last thing I'll show you in this tutorial is the superscript. Let's use the same example. h2, let's say 5 raised to power 2. Now I'll have my 5, then I'll have my sub 5 raised to power 2. Then if I reload, this should bring the 2 to the upper part. Okay, you see, 5 raised to power 2. That's it about this tutorial. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, and to drop your questions in the comment box. And if you've not been following the class, you can check out on the channel, and we already did part 1 to 4. You can check other videos so as to understand and follow us as we progress in this tutorial. Thank you for watching. I love you. Bye bye.